We just got a huge quantity of new items that came in today. I'm going to go over them quick. Large quantity of the storage boxes. Let's say you are working on a phone and you want to put the phone on the side because you have a part on order. You have a compartment down on the bottom and you have two on the top for parts and screws. A lot of you already bought those boxes, but we are running low on stock. We have over 1,600 pieces right now. It's very difficult to get those items from China because of how big they are. They take a lot of space inside the box and they cost a lot to ship, not counting customs and all that stuff, but we got them. Usually when somebody orders those boxes, they order in quantities of 5, 10, 20 because one is never enough. We have a lot and this item is already on our side. We have the grinding tool and this tool comes with 7 tips. I'll go over this in a future video. We have a lot. Voltage injection tool. Finally, we have 50 pieces for now and we have more on the way. There's a shortage on a certain chip and factories are not able to make those items, but we were able to get our hands on 50 pieces. And this one is the TS30A. We have 50 pieces that will be posted on the site later this week, maybe today, tomorrow, or the day after. We have the pad strips. If you are fixing a broken pad, a broken trace, we have a lot, about 500 pieces each, and we have 3 different types. We have this type here, we have this one, and we have this one. We also got a large quantity of screwdriver or tweezer holder. We have heat plate. I want to go over this later today. I want to demonstrate how it works. We have a heat plate from Mechanic. Basically, what this is used for is you put your soldering iron into it, the plate will get hot, and this is used if you want to, let's say you want to remove the FPC connector and solder a new one onto a screen. You heat up the plate by putting your soldering iron inside that plate, and you put the Flux cable over the plate, and you can easily remove the FPC connector and replace it. Maybe I'll demonstrate at the end of the video. We have another type of heating plate also. A lot of brushes, over 1,700 brushes we got because we're almost out of stock. And then we have the heat resistant pads. That's one thick pad. And before we bought these, we contacted the factory. We wanted to make sure that this is a high quality item, that this pad is not gonna burn when it's under heat. And they assured me that that's a very high quality item. We also have a large quantity of those heat resistant pads also. And this can be used if you are fixing a phone and you want to put screws on top. It can be used for that purpose also. We have a large quantity of this. And these are the things that I have open for now. We have a lot more products that we need to open, but I cannot fit anymore on the bench here. We have some samples also. I'll go over them in a future video. Those probes, I'll explain why these are amazing probes. And we have this one here to actually place your soldering iron tips into. And we have a new tweezer from Mechanic. I'll go over this later on. But that's what I want to go over today. We have a lot more boxes to open and a lot more new items that I need to go over. Today we got an overwhelming number of mail-ins for laptops here. We did not open this one yet, but it's a Nintendo Switch board. And I do not know what's here. We'll look at it later. We'll go over those boxes later on. We did a lot of work today, myself and Big Boss. MacBook, we're still working on it. This one we are still working on. This one is fixed. Asus laptop is fixed. This one is already done and charging. It's already charged. And Spectre laptop, it's on my bench. This one I did not work on yet. What's this? Oh, it's a Nintendo Switch motherboard. All right. Couple of boards for Asus laptops we need to work on. This is the Spectre laptop that we need to work on. We have two Surface Pros here. Both of them need a screen replacement, Surface Pro 4 and Surface Pro 3, but one of them also needs a battery replacement because the battery expanded inside and caused damage to the screen. We have two stores, as you know. Many of you who've been following the channel, you know that we have two shops side by side. Okay, that's one, and the other one is the shop next door. We opened up a door when we got the other shop, and that's our next shop. But we may have to maybe kick the guy next door, the gold shop, and take his shop. We'll see. It's not gonna happen. He's been there for 20 years. Maybe just a quick tour here where all the shipping happens. This is the tape dispensing machine with the heater. If you do not know what this does, let's say the box is 6 inches, maybe 9 by 6 by 4, and we want a tape that will cover the box. So 9 inches, and let's say 3 inches on the side, 3 inches on the side, that's 15. We press button number 15 and it just makes a piece of tape that will fit that box exactly. Okay, awesome machine. We're shipping back video card, PS5, a lot of video cards here inside. We have another automatic tape dispensing machine. Microscope lenses, and we have the microscopes back in stock. I think we have sold more microscopes than any microscope company in the US. Our microscopes are the highest quality in the market, and you can tell by our videos. We have the bubble, what is it called? This is the Mini Air Pro machine, and we can do wrapper or filler. We have different films. Stop. We have the scale here, and the ship and label, the label machine to make labels for items that we sell. For example, TriStar Xbox One S, if we are selling an HDMI port, we just put a label on the envelope, so on and so forth. And short killer by Mechanic, the iBoot power cable for Android, IMAX, all that stuff is on our site, and almost every single viewer on our channel must have bought at least one item from here. Nobody buys one item, but at least one item. This is the amp meter that we use in the shop. BGA blades, tweezers from Best, 3 different types. We have the iBoot for iPhones, alcohol bottles, the blades, aluminum tape, magnetizer for screwdrivers, and HDMI connectors. We cannot fit everything here, so storage is inside the other room. But I'm quickly showing you what's here. Crimp tool or wire stripping tool, tweezers from Lee, and we got a new tweezer from Lee, which is supposed to be the finest tweezer from Lee, which is this one here, the finest tip. We did not post this on the site yet, but it should be done today. Atomizer, HDMI splitter, and honestly, oh, I do not know if we have more of the circuit board holder. I see 2 here. We're supposed to have more. Okay, multimeters we have a lot. And this is the multimeter right here. Big Boss is using it, and this multimeter is amazing and cheap, $50 compared to the Fluke one that I use, which is $350. And honestly, in any repair business, it doesn't matter if you have the Flux or you have this. This does everything that you want. And precision in the repair business is not important. If you are measuring 1 volt or 1.02 volts, it doesn't make a difference. So without wasting any time, let's go over this heating plate and see how it works. Right, so let's go over this heating plate quick. The way this works is we take our soldering iron and we stick it inside like this. And I'm gonna turn our soldering iron station on. Okay, it's going up. And right now we are at 400 degrees. Let's put it all the way up to 450. All right, now the plate is getting hot. To avoid the plate burning your table, if you do not have a heat resistant mat, you can use this. And all those items will be posted on our site later this week. So we're gonna open it. And thick. It's thick. And look at this, it has a shiny surface. Flexible and thick, and it's heavy. It's not lightweight. So we're gonna put the heating plate over it. And that's the mat here. We're gonna put the heating plate over it like this. Let's focus. And I do not know what the temperature is of that plate, but it's hot. It's hot. I should not try my finger because I'm gonna burn it. Now to desolder the connector, all we have to do is lay that flex cable over the heating plate and we should be able to remove that connector. Let's try it. We just lay the cable over the plate like this. We push down. And out. Now a good way would be to use another tweezer to hold down that flex cable so it doesn't keep wobbling. We hold it down like this with the other tweezer, and then we can put that connector back on like this. So right now we desoldered the connector right here. We have a bigger one here. Let's try to desolder the bigger connector and see how it goes. Back to the microscope, and that's the connector right here. All right, and the connector is out. Now let's try to solder that connector back on, and this connector is big. Look at the size of the connector. The flex cable is made out of 2 pieces and the other piece is getting in the way, so let me just get some Captain tape, and I just want to pull back on that other flex and tape it so it doesn't come in the way. Right now, let's assume that we want to solder a new FPC connector. It's always better to apply leaded solder and some flux. So if we apply some flux here, okay, and I'm gonna apply leaded solder. I just removed my soldering iron from that heating plate. Let's go like this. Add some solder. And now let's try to solder that connector back on, the same connector. Let's get rid of the glare. So with one tweezer, I'm gonna press down on that flex cable And with the other tweezer, I'm gonna put that connector back on. And that's it. Let's wait until solder hardens. And the job is done. And the job is done. Let's remove that heating plate and look at the mat. Let's take a look at the connector. Look at the pins. Solid, solid. Awesome. We do have a ridge here, but that's because of the access solder that we put. It's all right. We can easily fix this. Solid. Let's check the other side. Awesome. Every single pin is solid. And since we started this, why not finish it? I'm gonna apply a tiny bit of flux to get rid of the bridge here. And just like that. Now the paint on the flex cable is very fragile, so if you scrub a lot, you're gonna end up removing that paint. Not that it will matter, but it will just not look good. Like this, if you go like this, then you're gonna end up exposing, look at this. We just scratched the paint. It's a very, very thin layer of paint. So if you wanna clean, just go like this one time or 2 times and that's it. You do not need to scrub. And that's how it's done. Look at the mat. Still intact. The mat is intact. And that's why when I contacted the factory, I made sure that we got something durable. I do not want you to buy this and then end up throwing this in the garbage after 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I want this to last forever. And based on what I can tell, we were at 450 degrees. Awesome. That's it for now. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment if you have any questions. And we'll do something else in the next video.